the emotional commitment and connection of an employee has towards their organization, its goals, its culture, leading to higher productivity. The organizations create a map, create a process by which they ensure that you are doing the right thing at the right time. So what do organizations typically look into? They are not going to challenge your thought, but they are going to make you understand this factor, the need for those asks. Good morning and welcome to the Session 2, Unit 5, 4th semester BBA Human Resource Management, where we're going to talk about talent management. Yesterday, as we were speaking about in the previous sessions, the separation process and the futuristic methods of HR, today we are going to take the HR and the workplace concept to these following topics. These are the concluding topics of the syllabus. They are very, very important. Why? Because these topics add a great value to the HRM. Now, first thing is talent management. We are going to talk about employee engagement, competency mapping, workforce diversity. Then we're going to talk about industrial relations, dual career couples. We're going to talk about the flexi working hours, job from the home, job hopping, and job poaching. Now, as we move further, we need to understand each and every concept one by one. Now, what is the meaning of talent management? Why is that so important? We all know that organizations are filled with talent. Now, whether you call that talent good or bad, but still, we need to appreciate talent inside the organization. Now, when you look into this, the talent management is an ongoing process of attracting, identifying, developing, engaging, and retaining high potential employees to meet the current and future business goals. Now, that's exactly what is talent management all about. The strategic ongoing process, which means to say that talent management has never been a one-side or a one-stop issue. Talent management is all about an ongoing process. It is never ending with just one-day recruitment or one-day attrition, but every day you see that organizations require people who can manage to the needs of the organization. So every time when you recruit people, this becomes an ongoing process. People tell you, please do this way, please take it up this way, please build the organization. So there are people who come to you who tell you every day how we need to build the talent. So this concept of identifying new skills, developing the people as per the need of the organization and engaging them so that we can retain and we can ensure that that high potential is used by the organization for a valuable output. So that's exactly why talent management becomes very, very important today. One side, you are recruiting hundreds and thousands of people every year. The other side, what are you doing with that people? How are you building your capacity in the organization matters a lot. So that's why we talk about this word called as talent management. Employee engagement. Why this is very important? The emotional commitment and connection of an employee has towards their organization, its goals, its culture, leading to higher productivity. Now, this is very important for us. The emotional commitment. Why do we talk about this word called emotional commitment? We are all committed to organization in different words, in different meaning, in different context altogether. For certain people, job means money. For certain people, job means satisfaction. For certain people, job means challenge. For certain people, job means another source of keeping yourself engaged. But then, this job has got different meaning in terms of the employee mindset. But for an organization, a job is a commitment. The organization expects the employee to remain committed to the organization, to the company at any given point of time for two simple reasons. One, we are not just paying money for your work. We are paying for your hard work, for your talent. Number two, there are certain expectations which have been set across the board when you join the organization. So when you are a part of the organization, we expect you to be a person who can be a part of the system. So as and when we all join together, it's mandatory for us that we keep you engaged towards the organization, towards its culture, leading to higher productivity. So every time when an employee comes into an organization, the company has to see, are we making the productive use of the person? Many a times we do the usage, many a times we come back and say, wow, yes, you are a part of the organization, you have done a great job. But then, is the employee completely engaged? It is not just that 9 to 5. Please do not believe in clocking hours. Please believe in this factor that are you doing something productive enough which can translate into meaningful work, which can increase your productivity every day. That's why employee engagement becomes very, very important. Followed by which competency mapping. Now, these words are big, but nevertheless, these words mean also something bigger. Competency in organization is a different context, it's a different world altogether. If you ask me how and why, I've got many reasons to tell, but then nevertheless, let me just tell you how competency actually matters to you. The first thing about competency is that you have a set of qualifications. Now, you can't say that you don't have it. You have a set of qualifications, and those qualifications matter a lot. Those qualifications will actually add on to a benefit, will actually add on to a system altogether. Sometimes you might find that my talent, my competencies are way above the organization. That's quite a normal feeling. Sometimes you might be felt that I've been put to a job where my competency is not mapping. So at the end of the day, there is something that keeps running in your mindset. You always want to ask this question, why, how, why not? So the organizations create a map, create a process by which they ensure that you are doing the right thing at the right time. And that becomes very, very important. That becomes highly useful at this given juncture. So what do we typically do is that we, first of all, have a structured process of identifying, assessing, evaluating specific knowledge. So let's say that we have 100 people working in an organization. All the 100 people database is first collected, understood as to why they have joined the job, what is their skills, what is their knowledge level, how much they have qualified, to what kind of roles they have been assigned. So all these factors would be done as a part of competency mapping. Followed by which the skills and behavior. Now, these are two important factors as we are talking about in competency. You have a skill set, you have a behavioral pattern. Now, both of them have to match. Now, if they don't match, for example, I have a skill of communicating with people. So let's say that my soft skills are really good. But my behavior towards people is very rash. It's a very indifferent kind of attitude. Then what happens? The skill turns out to become a negative outcome. So this is where organizations try to map people. They find out whether the skills, the knowledge, and the behavior are put together. When you combine, what is the output that we are generating? How is that we are able to see that whether he can fit into a particular job role? So whenever you go for an interview, it is not just about asking questions and leaving you. We are trying to do a competency mapping. Why? Because once you take up a role, there are many things under which you will be mapped. There are many things where you will be questioned. How? Why not? Why you are doing it? How you are doing it? All those things. And so when your manager takes up the responsibility of answering this question, that yes, we have given this particular person a job, a role in our organization, that is purely because you have the set of competencies inside you. And that's why this is very, very important. We need to understand what is competency mapping. Followed by which the workforce diversity. Now, this is a very, very hot topic in HR if I have to talk about. Many people ask me why diversity is important. Diversity is something that we already have seen because India is a place of diverse culture. It's the home to multiple cultures, multiple languages, linguistics, and all those factors. Now, let's try to understand the inclusion factor that comes into organization. Today, as we talk about this inclusions and the factors, one is very, very important is that we still talk about race, religion, caste, and creed, which is not accepted in the corporate level. In a corporate setup, when I recruit you, I'm recruiting because I understand your nature, I understand your behavioral skills, I understand your knowledge, and I understand the skills that are required to do the job. At any point of time, I'm not looking into your color, I'm not looking into your height, your personality, your religion, your caste, your creed, your gender. I'm not going to talk about these things because these really don't matter, ethically speaking. But many a times, you might have seen that people are being thrown out of organization, people are being cornered, people are being demotivated, they are being targeted based on these factors. So it obviously runs in the minds of the consumers, the employees, and everybody that this organization supports a particular variety, particular caste, particular group of people. Now that is a negative remark to the organization, according to me. Why? Because the moment you start getting into a biased role, gender bias, or let's say religion or caste or whichever factor, the employee talent management takes a toss. People don't join your organization. You don't get the right kind of people with the right set of knowledge. So every time what you do is that keep away from all these sensitive issues and start concentrating on inclusion. Today, most of the organizations have taken time to understand how we need to be a part of the organization by including everybody as a common factor, not alone that particular person, not alone this particular person. And that is not the answer. The answer comes to you only when you understand everybody as what they are. So that's why I always say, try to learn to accept people as they are. If you don't try to accept them, if you don't try to understand them, then you cannot become a leader here. It's very, very important we understand them, we accept them as what they are, whatever background they come from, and then the diversity starts building up. As we move further, we are going to talk about industrial relations. This is quite important for us, because we're going to talk about a harmonious relationship between management and employees built by the mutual trust, communication, collaborative dispute resolution to make the workplace much more peace and calm. Whenever I talk about the word industrial relation, is that applicable to me? Because people say that industrial relationship works only in manufacturing sector. Now, given that point, that doesn't mean that industrial relation is only subjected to the manufacturing zone. It is subjected to every organization which undergoes the corporate process, which has a system, which has a belief towards its human resources. Now, let's take a very simple example here. If the organization does not believe on its people, the organization says that my employees are only cost to me, then automatically the employees' behavior towards the organization changes. They also start looking into the organization as a place of just passing the time, collecting the salary and going away. So what we need to build inside an organization is a trust, is an understanding that we stand by you at any time. Number two, the effective communication of the HR, trying to talk to the employees on a regular basis, addressing their complaints, their grievances, trying to understand what really needs to come in place. How we need to build a harmonious relationship matters a lot. So many a time I always say this, management and employees are the two eyes of the organization. You cannot start having a prejudice factor here. Both of them need to sail same time on the boat. And you need to see that they are being given equal importance. So whatever the employees want and whatever the management wants, we need to parallelly work it out so that we are able to build a system that is guided with ethics and value. The next one is a dual career couples, a household situation where partners are committed in relation and they're pursuing their own independent professional careers. This word is important. Why for you is that as per the syllabus, as per the system, let's try to understand Today, everybody is professionally engaged in the factor. So this word dual careers are something where both husband and wife are working in different parts of the organization. They have their own systems, they have their own practices, they have their own beliefs and commitment to the organization. This is quite normal these days. Why? Because professionally, men and women want to have their own space for growth, and they believe that they are committed to their careers much more than what it was 10 or 15 years back. So the dual career is now a trend in our country where we are accepting women equal to men. We cannot discriminate. We cannot say that only the men should progress and the women should deteriorate. Definitely not. We should try to promote women, give importance to them. Their careers are also important and they should also be given a space to commit and grow. Flexi working hours. Flexible arrangement allowing employees to choose their start and end time and total work hours, adhering to the total of 9 to 5. Now, many people in India have started understanding that flexibility in work is needed. Now, the moment you say that 9 to 5, that 8 hours sticks into my mind. So by the time I go back home, it is about 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I feel that why is that always I have to stick only to this time? Why can't I work in some other time zone? Is it a wrong? Is it something, considered to be a crime? Why don't I work from the afternoon to night or night to the morning? I might be more productive in the night rather than working in the morning hours. So what do organizations typically look into? They are not going to challenge your thought, but they are going to make you understand this factor, the need for those hours. Suppose your clients need to work at this particular hour, then we are not going to change it. Because your commitment to the business, to the customers are more important rather than just looking at flexibility. But if the nature of work provides you a scope, a flexibility where you can complete the task within any point of time of the day, then I can start giving you into the flexi work hours, which means to say that you can complete the task whenever you want, but at the end of the day, I need the report saying that, yes, you have completed the task. The flexi working hours is actually helping employees to understand the situation better, and it gives a better result, no doubt about it. Why? Because people at the end of the day come back and tell this that yes, we have been able to do things better. Yes, we have been able to give much more productive results. And yes, we are able to see that the conditioning factors are less, the control factors are less. So I am doing things far more better. So that's why I always say flexi working hours are mandatory today in the organization. Let's go from the work from home culture, which just picked up post-COVID or during the COVID time. Bad time for the entire world, but a good time for the HR to understand that there is an alternative method of working called as work from home. So what is work from home? That means you just work from the home. I mean, you don't go to the office. You don't have to follow the uniforms. You don't have to follow the protocols. You can just be relaxed. You can just be there enjoying this world. No, but then the work from home comes with a lot of commitment. Now, what is the problem here? The moment you are in an organization, the first thing that hits your mind is the time called as login and log out. You can log out at a particular time. You can log in at a particular time. But the moment you start working from the home, there is no login and log out. People would ask you to work as many hours as possible. Nobody is going to say that you have to work only from 9 to 5 or 10 to 6 or 11 to 8, whatever is that. But people might say that even in the middle of the night, I can give a call and I can say that you need to reply to the customer's mail. So what happens in work from home is that one side, it might be a boon to the employees by saying that you don't have to travel, you don't have to face the stress of going from one end to another end. But the other side, it becomes a bane. Why? Because the employer might ask the employee to be logged into the system 24/7. Now, this is very, very important. So whenever you get enabled by this work from home culture, that means to say that you need to be more careful in understanding the entire setup. Work from home is not just something that is giving you a free hand. But work from home is something that's giving you the potential to do things better. So you need to remain committed. You need to remain there. You need to do that work and keep on moving forward, because that is how people will look into your productivity. Moonlighting. Now, this is a practice of holding a second job or performing additional independent work from outside to one's primary full-time. Now, this is something considered to be negative, and many of the IT companies are very sensitive about it. Reason is that moonlighting means that though you're working in one company, parallelly you are sharing your talent with another company so that you can make more money. One, this is seriously dangerous because you are going against the ethics and integrity of the company, which is not considered to be good at any point of time. Second thing is that you will be completely engaged yourself. Occupational stress level goes up very high. And secondly, there is a possibility and probability of sharing the company secrets with other company. So this is not considered to be a good practice in the corporate sector. In fact, most of the IT companies face this challenge post-COVID, and they had to take strict action against their employees. Followed by which, job hopping, which is quite common. You move from one job to another job, you start seeking better roles, you start seeking better opportunities. Why? Because you believe that there is an opportunity for me to grow. So why not stick to just one organization, but just keep moving from one place to another so that you get a better chance to work. Followed by which, job poaching. Actively, when one company starts taking other companies' employees into their payroll, and that is very bad. Why? Because we don't want organizations to take people from another company and delete this organization's growth. That is a negative and it's a very adverse effect. So we always believe that job poaching is not a healthy practice in HR, which actually leads to deterioration of talent. Rather, job poaching should be discouraged because that does not constitute anything good for the organization. So one needs to be very careful about the factors of job poaching, where people are given more incentives, where people are given more benefits, and they're just taken away from the organization. These are the top job portals that you can see in India: Naukri.com, LinkedIn, Indeed, Foundit, Shine, TimesJob, Apna, and Work India. So some of the online portals to which you can apply for better jobs, you can get a better career and a handsome salary also. With this, I come to the end of this session and also the syllabus for HRM in the 4th semester BBA. I hope and believe that all the facts and figures that we have spoken through these sessions would be of a great help to you, both in terms of theory as well as in practice. So with this, I conclude the subject called as Human Resource Management, and I wish all my students the very best in the upcoming examinations, and my best wishes in terms of scoring the marks and making the best use of HR practices in future. Thank you once again for joining me today. You have a great day ahead.